Suki Suki now. There you
Yes,
go. There you go.
yes. Motivational Mondays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Man, listen, between the weather and that daggone verses last night, if you're not in good spirits and in good energy, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Like, those two things alone should have everybody, if you're in New York, in the New York area, tri-state area, because we finally got some weather we can feel good about today. It's pretty decent out there. It's nice enough to stand out front your building, stand out on your stoop, sit on your steps, whatever. But that versus last night, if
Yeah.
you didn't watch that, oh my God, like you really missed a treat. Like that was beyond anything that we could have. I don't even think any of us was really ready for that versus last night. We
Let
thought
me
we
ask you a
were.
question before you
Yes,
go
sir.
any further. Who you give it to?
I'm going with Earth, Wind, and Fire, sir. I'm I'm
That's
I'm a,
that's what
I'm
I
a,
said.
I'm the elements all day, and that's taking nothing away from the Ozzy brothers because I understand how and why people think what they think. But to me, this was the real difference. The elements make songs that are not only uplifting and inspiring, but they just make you feel good. Like your whole body just resonates with a different kind of energy. The Ozzy brothers, while they obviously their catalog is bananas and super long, one of the things that I think the Ozzy brothers do better than obviously anybody is they make that music for when you really want to take that bedroom game to the next level. Like,
Yeah,
look,
yeah, yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
and that was the difference. Like, one side of it was up tempo and you just hearing horns and drums and all kind of stuff that you like, whoa, whoa. And then the Ozzy brothers just had you in there like somebody getting pregnant tonight. Look, all I can say is 9 months from now when we hear Ernie, a lot of Rons, Vernon, what was my man, Bernadine or whatever the homeboy name is, Phillips. I'm telling y'all, when you see them names make that resurgence, y'all gonna know why. That last night did it.
I'm telling you, I look at it like this, and the same way you say it. But like my thing is the reason why I give it to the elements is Earth, Wind, and Fire does it all. Like they don't get me wrong, Isley Brothers is nothing to sneeze at, and their catalog. Actually, people don't even know this, but their catalog goes back further than the Elements.
Yes.
The Isleys go into the late '50s, and the Elements came in the '70s. So that's when they gained their fame. So they got more extensive when you go by year, but when you go by music and the levels and parameters of the music. Earth, Wind, and Fire, like you said, you got that horns. They got them songs that could stand next to Ohio players with funk. They got them love songs. They got the slow, the up-tempo dance. They got the roller skate classics. I mean, it's way more well-rounded. Like you said,
Yes.
Isley Brothers, they got, if it was a car with stick shifts, I think you're dealing with 3 gears as opposed to 4 or 5. And that's
Yes.
why I would lean that way. You know what I mean? Um, but definitely you should have been feeling good and feeling privileged and blessed. And I definitely the reason why it's dope to talk about on Motivation Monday. I mean, obviously, it's the thing to talk about and the classics and all that. But more importantly, Tyrese put up a comment that somebody was clowning a last name in the comments. He was like, "Damn, 50 years." He said, "I couldn't get TGT the second album."
Hey,
Remember, he had the group,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
Tank, Tank,
Tank,
Genuine, Tyrese. He was
yeah,
like, when they said 50 years, he said 50 years. In the comments, he's like, I couldn't get a second album out of TGT.
yeah. You know, and beyond that, what I really appreciate about last night, if as young people who hopefully tuned in, you got
Yeah,
a chance to see every element of what music technically is supposed to be, and by that I mean musicianship, harmonizing, instrumentation. It gave you every bit of what music is technically supposed
right.
to be and feel like Ron Isley jumped up after every Earth, Wind and Fire song went off. Like immediately he was up and ready to get into his next joint. Most of us aren't even close to Ron Isley's age, and we don't even jump up like that. I was like, this dude, he ready. He's super ready. Like this,
and he's 79.
He's 79. Exactly. And yo, the best comment of the night for me or the day for me was, or maybe one of my friends made this up later. They said, for Ron Isley, Mr. Steele, 3 generations of the women in your family. When I tell you, I can't stop laughing off of that. I was like, yo. I said, damn it, man. He's not just gonna take your grandma on them. He taking your shorty, your daughter. Damn it, man. Look, it's too much.
But I mean, hey, you can't be mad at somebody who keep themselves active and up. It's one thing to be. I mean, we could pay for grooming, but to keep yourself active and up, that's something different. To be said for. And the fact that the brother has kept himself active and up, let that be an inspiration to you. Like, here we are in a time, as Motivation Monday, here we are in a time where we got to look at what's in front of our face and use that to be motivated. These gentlemen last night, if they didn't motivate you, looking at the longevity, everything they stand for, what they did and how long they did it, you got to give them props on that. And then you look on the other side of the spectrum, and you look at a guy with mad accolades himself in the rap era, i.e. DMX, and you got to let that be a wake-up call as well. Like, this guy, these men last night, damn near close to 2/3 of his age, you give or take a decade, you doubling his age. And here they are, like you said, jumping up, ready for the song, vibrant, boom, 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 well-groomed, got the energy of a 40, 50-year-old. This guy's, in a year, he'll be 80.
Yeah.
And yet this guy has his heart attack and stroke, regardless if it came on by drugs. The point is a way of life. Look where he is at his age. So we have to let these things sink into us, if you will, and take it for food for thought and move accordingly.
Yes, I absolutely agree, man. Like I said, that I was so charged after the show went off, I couldn't fall asleep. Like I just kept, because there were moments in the verses where they would play songs, right. And to the point about how great the songs are, you just remembered whether they were connected to a movie that you saw, whether they were actual moment with a young lady, whether there was a moment with your boys. And I just thought that that's what made it such a powerful and such an amazing event, is you really had time to like, oh, wait a minute. Like when Earth, Wind and Fire played the joint from Drumline, it was about 11:15 or so. About my bed and started dancing. Like I was like, nah, I know I'm supposed to be down, but I was like, man, are y'all serious? This bam, bam, bam. I was like,
let me ask you a question. When did it end officially?
At midnight.
It started when?
It started at 8, from what I understand, and ended at midnight. And the craziness about it ended at midnight. People are saying that's what the last song was, but they Earth, Wind and Fire was supposed to have the last song, and it cut off before they could play the last song. So I'm still wondering what that last song was going to be. Like I'm dying to know what that last song.
Yeah, I tell you one thing. All them old Negroes, they got the rest of the month off. Them niggas ain't doing nothing else. That joint went to midnight. Yo, midnight. We're not gonna hear from them this month.
You know what I mean? But we can't be mad if we don't, though, because I said this. That was a concert for the ages. True story. Even if we weren't physically there to, be like, that was a concert for the ages for everybody. Like you had to just tune into that and just go, wow. Like the wealth of music here is beyond anything that most people, kind of fathom in any way, shape, or form. I'm telling you, I was home. I got it this morning. Literally, I jumped out the bed like, yo, I'm still on this damn joint from last night. This is still playing in my head. I was like, and everybody I know was like, I downloaded the greatest hits, or did this or did that. Like people just been all
But
day
now you see how I feel when I get in my crates and I get in my music and I
Yes.
get the zone in. That's what that's like. Everybody got the zone on two major groups, but that's how I feel when I get in that mood and I'm sipping on something and I'm playing Bump and Grind Cafe or Twitter After Dark, and you start zoning because I'm looking at it in my face. And one song will play and groove my mind and body into another song, which is, we call transitioning. And I'll keep in that zone, like, and just be doing what the hell I'm doing. And then, you know how it is when we playing, we get our peoples in the comments. Somebody might come up with something I ain't even thinking of, like, yo, you got up. I'm like, yeah, that go right here. You know what I mean? So everybody got to see how talent feels when he playing. And if you love music, that was everybody last night who was privileged, to be a part of that. Versus shout out to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Shout out to the Isley Brothers. Can't take nothing from either one. I'm just saying I would edge the Elements over them if you're really trying to find a winner. I don't think some of these we're not really trying to find a winner. We're just trying to enjoy the pairing up.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of enjoying stuff, the number one commercial from the Super Bowl to now, heavy rotation. And it's funny because I didn't even realize this was a buddy I met in Virginia through a mutual friend, Mark the Barber. Shout out to DJ Mark the Barber. Went to Virginia with him, his family met. They had a cookout at the crib. Met a lot of his people and all that good stuff. So one of our guests, our first guest on Motivation Monday, check this out. Our next guest is someone that is hilarious. You will know when you hear about the commercial. I'll get to that. But she's residing in ATL, original New Yorker. She holds a BA in political science from St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia. She got a master's as well. That tell you a lot right there, Amir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I say you got a BA and you got the master's and everything, and finalizing her bachelor's in film, Georgia State University, out there in Atlanta, Georgia, all while auditioning and booking and working a full-time job, right?
Wow.
She's a New York Knicks fan, Amir.
Okay.
New York Knicks fan, former elementary educator who launched out into the deep world of the unknown and to become an actress almost 20 years ago. She's been doing her thing, made her own way, dancing, doing her thing. Now, this new commercial. It was one of the funniest, best ones with the tag team. Scoop, there it is.
Yes.
With Geico, and she's done a bunch of commercials, and she's continuing to work. Please welcome to the living room, to the show, Miss Nikki Carr, actress extraordinaire.
Yes.
What up, man?
Hello.
What's
hey.
up? How are you, Amir? How are you?
Scoop, there it is.
Good.
Hi, Trent.
That
is... Yo, that's a running joke, Amir. The woman's been calling me Trent for 10 years. And my dumb ass, I don't even correct it. I'll be like, hey, what's up? How are you today? Welcome to Motivation Monday. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for having me.
You're looking wonderful.
Yes.
Now I recognize
you. Yeah.
She was like, did you see my commercial? I'm like, what commercial?
That's my favorite. That was, like you said, that's still one of my favorite commercials. The best part for me is the sprinkles at the end when he goes, sprinkles, yo. Every time when I see that, like I've never seen it before. Every single solitary time, I'd be like, this is retarded. I've seen this commercial a million times already. I still laugh every time.
First of all, let me ask you a question, Nick. Did you see the verses?
I was doing work. I saw the first 10 minutes. So
you saw the intro and then you had to do your homework.
Yeah.
But you can always go back.
I was like, Ron Isley ain't gonna set me up. I got to do.
You know what I like? I like the fact that, what I've learned to enjoy, because I don't get a chance on my shows to watch all the comments. So when I'm watching somebody else, I read the comments. So I love the fact that last night, it's been a long time since you've seen grown-ass women admit to liking older men.
Everybody was
Like,
like, Daddy.
Zaddy.
I was reading the comments in tears. I said, yo, this has to be the best joint ever with just the comments alone. If you just read the comments, like you said, and didn't pay
Yo,
attention
the
to
comments, yo. My
Could've been in
favorite
tears.
comment of the night was, my doctor said my sugar's low. I need to get a sugar daddy. Anybody got Ron Osley? Who got Ron Osley's number? I said,
Let me tell
yo.
you, I saw Ron Osley, then I saw Vernell with his hair. I think it's Vernell with the press.
Yeah.
I was like, his hair hasn't changed. It's all shiny. So I was like, let me just mine up and do this paper. They already paid. But hey, Uncle Ron, how you doing?
Hey, Nikki. So,
Yes.
20 years, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Acting
Hustling?
game. You took the leap of faith, if you will.
Almost 20 years. Almost 20 years.
Now, what made you do that? Like, take me to that moment, because I know how it is for me in comedy, but when is that moment for you in acting, that official moment, you're like, you know what? I'm doing it.
Well, I grew up like entertaining in my family. I'm the baby of everybody, like the baby of the grandchildren and the baby of the siblings. And so, I was always like the class clown and always wanted the attention. And so I was teaching one day in DC, and those children, I had like lunchroom duty. And the students, the second and third graders, they would not chill out. I was like, oh my God, the jobs to have broccoli covered, sugar covered broccoli. Everything. They was just like, they was doing the before freaking Cardi B was. They was just shattering. I was, oh my God, I'm not trying to go to jail. I had a migraine headache. So I hopped on stage in the middle of the lunch break, and I was like, there once was a tale between two lovely little girls. One was born in London, England, and her name was, let's say her name was Rachel, and Rachel was 2'4". Everyone was like, you could have like swivel, heads on a swivel, like, Miss Jameson, what you doing? So I just started making a story on the spot, and segueing from that to talking like I was from New York, and which I am, but then talking like I'm from Jamaica or Puerto Rico or whatever. And then at the end of the day, one of the students was like, Miss Jameson, my uncle is an actor in LA. And I was doing a church play anyway. So I was like, you know what, let me talk. Who dog is that? I got a dog. Hey, dog.
That's the killer. That's the killer. Don't worry. That's just the killer.
No, you're good. And so I just was like, let me talk to your uncle. I talked to him. He's like, yo, you need to get out of DC. You really want to pursue this. I was doing like little things in the city. I was doing things in Richmond too. I was like, you know what? You only live once. I was YOLOing before YOLO was a YOLO, right? So I decided to make the leap in December of 2003. So it's been 18 years almost.
Wow.
And I went out there for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and I came back with my 2 weeks notice with my job with teaching, and I was like, I'm gonna move to LA.
I ain't mad at you. That's dope right there. That's dope right there.
Thank you.
Amir, that's a leap of faith for your ass.
No, that is, and
bungee jump.
But it stems to what we try to tell people every week. Your belief level is your belief level, and the fact that, like you said, you was like, look, if I'm a bank on anybody, I'm a bank on myself. So many of us are afraid of that. That's one of those. That's really what's keeping so many of us from achieving our goals, whatever they may be. It's just saying, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. The worst that could happen is I can fail into success, and we can't, process that sometimes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I like that. Like I said, that commercial is my all-time favorite commercial. Done right now. It comes on. I do the shakalaka with them. Everything. I love the little kick dance. Everything. I tell you, I'm like, yo, this commercial. Whoever came up with this is an instant classic. Like, that's gonna go down like with Coca-Cola commercials and all that forever. We're gonna remember that.
The Martin Agency out of Richmond, Virginia, they had the idea. This was originally supposed to be soup, like soup. There it is, potato soup.
Okay.
And it was like, nah, because Justin Timberlake had already done it on Saturday Night Live, and then they was like, well, everyone likes ice cream. So that's how they came up with Scoop. There it is.
Oh, so was it a lot of fun? Was it one of those situations where you sent the audition in, or was it pre-COVID where you actually went in and you
No.
had one audition, two, three?
So this happened October 26th, 2020. Wow. My last audition that I booked something was January of 2020, and I booked it and I shot it on Valentine's, and that was Aretha, Genius Aretha, that just came on. And so between March until August, everything is just shut down because the industry shut down. So when I got the audition notice for Geico, it was October 26th. I got the NDA, put it in, signed it, turned it in, did my tape the next day, but I ain't like it, so I kept doing it for like 2 hours straight. My dog was like, "Girl, I gotta go to the bathroom. Submit this and let's go." Finished it. It was like 11 o'clock at night because my friend came over. He helped me, and I didn't like it. I just kept, I don't know. And so the next day we had a tornado, knocked out all the power. And the cast worker was like, "Yo, I'm gonna give y'all an extra day." I was like, "I got mine in." So it pays to. It taught me a lesson to not procrastinate because I am a huge procrastinator. Then I got the callback notice on election day while I was at work shooting a student film. Don't tell my boss, whatever. But because I got to figure out how to do this schoolwork as best as I can, which I currently have a 4.16. Praise God, and I'm about to. This comes from someone who failed the 10th grade, 11th, and made it up in the summer. Wow. Failed the 10th grade straight out. Took the GED, failed that. Now I'm working on my third college degree. So it's never too late. And you keep trying, you keep plugging away to never give up on the dream that you once had. So getting back to why I shot this commercial. Sorry. So I'm rushing because I'm in class and just trying to balance everything, but I got it done. I had to call back. The director was like, "Yo, Nick, we know you like to dance, but can you just throw in some elbows? You know, try hard not to," because I was best dancer for both of my 12th grades because I told you I just failed 12th grade. So, stop, Trent. Talent. And so I just, I danced, and then the next day I got email that I got first refusal. And so I was like, "Yo, I got to pay my dues." And I hadn't paid my dues in a minute. I was like, bam. I was like, "God, I only got one credit card left." He's like, "Go ahead and pay it." Pay the dues. The next day I found out I booked it. And my life has changed in such a great way. And I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not mad at you. I mean, that's okay to shed them tears, because this is one of those type of jobs and areas people don't get that. Like when you take that plunge is a real deal, Holyfield. And, you have to have, I stress it a lot because I guess my mentors and some of them be comedians, some of them be not comedians, but have these long careers that really didn't get to a level that they were happy until 30, 40, 50 years down the line. So I've learned perseverance from an early age. So I'm one of those guys that I can take my time. I can rock out for a long time. The guy right next to me, he can go, boom, get his in 10. I'm still on 20 and 25 and won't be distracted or discouraged a slight bit because I look and model myself after the Morgan Freemans, after the Bernie Macs. These are guys, Bernie Mac, 30 plus years before the rest of the country caught up and was like, "That guy funny." We've been saying he was funny for 30 years. But the rest of the world say, "Hey, who's this guy?" Like he just got here. So when you model yourself after him and the Morgan Freemans, who I grew up on with electric company, you know what I mean? And then fast forward 40, 50 years, you're like, "Oh my God, he's this iconic figure." That helps the resolve inside to keep you like this in the meantime, because it's all what we call a body of work. So I'm very happy that it came together for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Nikki. Go ahead, finish. I was going to say, and to add to that, you go. Go ahead, Nikki.
Right.
to add to that, you know, we always, I always tell people, we tend to look at the finished body of work or the end result, but we very rarely look at the, you know, the process that, you know, it took to get to that point. So many of us, you know, just see the finished product. So we're like, oh my God, you know, overnight sensation. And then, you know, you hear stories like yours, and, you know, you hear people really tell their story and, you know, what really happened. And not only you inspired by it, but you really take it to heart, because you go, okay, well, maybe my thing ain't so bad. I was sitting here feeling a little, you know, off.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I applaud, not only applaud you, but cry, jump up and down, do whatever you think you need to do, because the people who are going to see this, they're going to feel that same emotion that you just felt about what their journey is. And that's what this is all about for.
And I'm glad you waited till you got on this show to cry. Can you imagine if you cried over that ice cream?
Listen.
They'll be like, you know what? We need another girl. She keep messing up the ice cream.
No, but wait. I'm lactose intolerant. It's like, you eat ice cream? Yep, I do.
This gets better and better.
Once you see some tape, so my stomach won't blow out.
That is hilarious.
Well,
listen, you are crazy. So what's next? What we got next? You just going through the motions of constantly auditioning, or did that a lot of time work begets work? Did that spawn anything directly?
I did get a lot of auditions coming anyway, but
okay.
I work. It's hard balancing life and work balance, because I'm actually about to graduate in August, and my professors are like, we don't care about a commercial. Where's my thesis? You got a 60 on a quiz. You ran out of time. How does it? I was doing an interview with Talent and Amir. It's like, we don't care about that. this is you. Like, I have something to do tonight at 11:59. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope I finish it. So what's next is I graduate. I graduate in August.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, because like, this was a degree that I wanted. My mom was like, no, you're not changing your major. You change your major. You can get your degree in 4 years, and I don't care if you get it in dog catching. You're going to finish in 4 years. I didn't even use the degree that I got it in, but you know, this was something I wanted, and I'm finally going back 30 years later to finish it, to start it and finish it.
That's amazing.
I'm auditioning, and then when I'm looking forward to getting an MFA in acting, so I can then work on a university level, so I can go. I want to teach on the HBCU campus and teach kids that look like me, because I'm a product of HBCU, and tell them, yo, you know, this is attainable.
Gotcha.
That's amazing.
Denzel ain't called me, so I gotta keep working.
Well, he ain't call you yet.
There you go.
Yes.
He ain't call you yet. When he call you, we know when he call you, you're gonna be ready. Now you want Denzel. You don't know who you want. You want Ron Osley. You want Denzel. You don't give a damn. Whoop, there it is. You don't care.
They both got a whole wife, so I just want to work. That's all I want.
Well, we salute you, Queen. We love you. What's your social media? People can keep up with you.
Yes, on the Twitter, it is Nikki Smiles, NICCI Smiles.
Okay.
On Facebook is Nikki Carr, NICCI CARR. And on Instagram, I am Nikki Smiles, the number 2, the letter U.
Okay, well, listen, man, I'm glad you made a few minutes. I know you're super busy. You're getting that degree. Thank you for taking a few minutes to giving us some behind the scenes of what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and we wish you the best in all your future endeavors. We'll stay tracking you. We'll stay tracking you.
Thank you.
Nikki Carr, ladies and gentlemen, Motivation Monday.
Amir and Talent. Okay, I mean Talent. Amir, when I first met Talent, I just kept calling him Trent. He's like, my name is Talent. I was like, no, your name is Trent. So I met him in 2009, and I've been calling him Trent since 2009.
Yo, she is crazy as hell. I love you and thank you. We'll keep a tab on you, baby. Have a good one.
God bless. Bye-bye.
If that's not motivating, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what is. Motivation Monday, Nikki Carr, the other Nikki Carr, because it's very interesting. We know the comedian Nikki Carr. This is the actress Nikki Carr. #1 commercial was top 2 or 3 commercials Super Bowl, and it just ran and became national. And to this day, I might catch it 3, 4 times a day. Hilarious. I love the dancing in the commercial. I love that the group got to come back and do a little something. You know, I just I love people. You know, what did I just say last week? I love to see you win.
We love to see people win. That is such an amazing, part of this motivational Monday, and just in general. Like, even when she teared up just now explaining her story, I thought that was so apropos and so dope, because far too often we don't have the moment to let go, and when we tell our stories, everybody's expecting you to be proper and this and that and the third. I'm like, man, sometimes some of this stuff is such a journey.
Right.
That you want to, really let everybody know, nah, this ain't been as easy as it might seem to y'all, or as might look. So I'm really happy that
people go through trials and tribulations, bro. So when you make it, dude, that monkey come off that back, like she just said. She pretty much, for so long you start to think, second guess yourself, and give up and all type of thing, shoot your head, and then just when you turn your back or not expecting it, boom, you landed it. You got a national commercial. You got a Super Bowl commercial. You got a memorable commercial that people are going to talk about from here on out. And like I said, work begets work. So somebody jumped right on there like, who's that in that commercial? Yo, we need that. We got this. We got that. So nothing but the best for her. Speaking of motivation.
Hold on, T. For some reason, I'm frozen on my end. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to come back in.
Okay, come on back in.
All right.
While we are talking about motivating and everything, ladies and gentlemen, my next guest to the living room, I had the pleasure. Well, I've had the pleasure my whole career, basically, almost 20 years of the 30, of rocking with this dude in different events, different getaways, different what do they call it? Staycations and stuff like that. In my opinion, a top 10 mixologist, maybe even top 5. He's that good. The super duper DJ of our weekend in Atlantic City this weekend, the April Fool's weekend. DJ Chris Love is in the living room. He's going to join the show. Chris!
What's up? What's up?
What up, player?
Can't call it, man.
Hey, first of all, brother, congratulations on this weekend. Now, before we dive into this detail after detail, did you get a chance to check Versus last night? You heard about it?
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Okay, without seeing it,
I heard.
Because you're a music man, so you know music. If you hear it, if you hear Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Isley Brothers, who are you going with?
I actually choose Isley Brothers.
Woo!
Yeah.
Tell me why.
And the reason why I choose it is because growing up in my household, Pops had just a whole lot of 45s with the Isley Brothers. And that's what I had way more Isley Brothers music flowing in my household than I had Earth, Wind, and Fire. And that's it's really what it was. And another friend asked me the same question and was shocked that I went with Isley Brothers. And I was like, Isley Brothers got hits.
All you gotta do is tell them your parents was fucking. Is it safe to say?
Yeah.
Safe to say.
It's safe to say that.
Yeah, they were in a real love making zone as a couple. So that makes sense that around that household and that time you remember growing up, this is what the groove was. You know what I mean? Because they was in a place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, Earth, Wind, and Fire is hot. But,
my thing is this. It's one of those things, Chris, to be honest with you, from a music lover like yourself, I'm not mad at. It's one of those things you can't be mad either way it go. If somebody say Isley Brothers, you go, oh, okay. Well, I was saying Earth, Wind, but it ain't one of them things that's so far off. Like when people want to do these battles, every time these come up, there's one reoccurring argument or discussion keeps reoccurring about, man, if Mike was alive, put this one against Mike. And I keep saying to dudes, man, I know you think certain people are dope, But literally in our lifetime, we don't really have nothing to compare to Mike. Mike just went to a different stratosphere that is not fair to put somebody up against him in like a versus, because by the time you get done with his music, where he becomes a damn adolescent or a teenager, that person's music's done.
Exactly.
Then it's all Mike as a grown up.
Exactly. And what people don't know about Mike, his music was ahead of his time. For whatever reason, he can forecast. He can zone in for the future of how it was going to be, and he already tapped into that. And then next thing you know, 4 years later, people was catching up to the style of music Mike was doing 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, I want to skip right to while we here. Motivation Monday. We do this every Monday, and we like to have guests on. We like to bring up directional topics that stays along the course of somehow people can get something from it to be motivated. Now, you, my brother, we just wrapped up a 3-day weekend in Atlantic City. And boy, oh boy, you are bananas, right? To say the least. And Amir knows we all came up with the after work situation for years and all that. Amir, let me tell you something this weekend. First of all, it never ceases to amaze me. Like, we're constant professionals. We're comrades in the game. We work together all the time. So Chris probably walk around like I walk around. Chris walk around, see me, and it's just a gimme. Oh, comedy's taken care of, right?
Right.
I walk around, I see Chris, I go, oh, the party's gonna be banging, right? So we probably got that mutual thing about us. It's kind of it's like a calm cockiness,
right?
For the other person though, not even for yourself. Like I see Chris and I'm like, oh, party gonna be Chris. And so this is what I walk into Friday night. Different DJ. What's his name? Preem.
DJ.
Shout out to DJ Preem.
Young guy.
Shout out to DJ Preem. So Friday night. So here we go Saturday, reboot and do it all again. Now the difference in Saturday is I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna host half the show, step out, and come back in at the end and party with Chris. That's the plan anyway.
Right.
So when I come back, on the way back, stepping back in, there was like a fatal accident where we're just sitting stuck behind this accident till they clean everything up. So long story short, I get in and hear the last 20 minutes of music. And I'm right outside the ballroom listening, whatever. But as people are going to the bathroom and seeing me and passing by, oh, what's up, you back? So, yo, this dude, man, this DJ here, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like taking it all in, like, yeah, I'm happy, but I'm mad because I wanted at least 1 hour, you know. So I'm like, so same thing. I get up in the morning, and I got to do one more show, a clean gospel show on the way out. Chris is doing that music, so I said, let me go downstairs and get this omelet and the coffee. More importantly, So I'm sitting there breakfast. 20 people in and out the little restaurant. Hey man, you met that DJ last night? Damn, boy, let me tell you something. So I'm saying to myself, and then I go to the cocky thoughts. I'm like, but I know, right? But you got a lot of people that are shocked. And then they go, yo, do you understand? The man ain't say shit on the mic.
No.
The man talked through his music and his skills.
Right.
They were flabbergasted because they were used to the whole over talking, whatever.
Right.
All I know is Sunday, whether you were going to the Sunday afternoon show, leaving early, had a plane to get, whatever. People were walking around that hotel from 11 a.m. till we got out of there at say 3. 11 to 3 with the most uplifted spirits. And we owe that to the last 2 things that they left out on. They left out on your partying, your vibe, and that last comedy show. A combination that me and you been supplying for 20 years together.
You know what? So crazy is with Chris, and you know, I've said this to him, you know, personally. I'm still mad because I still was never able to find that house mix that I had on a different phone. You know how you get new phones, talent, and you have a mix. I had a mix that Chris had given me years ago. That was like my ultimate favorite house mix ever, and it had everything. So I would just play it whenever my spirits was down or I just wanted to exercise or whatever. I put that on. I'm dancing. I'm happy. To your point, the whole nine. I cannot find that mix. I'm so sick.
I got it.
I had it forever. Like
I got it.
Okay, so when you get a chance,
let me tell you something. I got all his mixes, and that's another thing. Thank you, Chris. Over the years, he always made sure I was laced with whatever mix he had, right? So when the pandemic hit and I started driveway drinking, so at first I'm lazy. I'm like, I don't want to bring all my equipment out in the yard and do all this, you know. So I remembered I got the CD unit I bought for when I was doing karaoke stuff. So it was a dual CD unit. I said, you know what? Let me drop this through the window, the wire. I said, damn, boy, I need CDs. I come in my office, man, and start going through. Nick, I pull up my Chris Love joints. Everybody that came in that driveway was like, yo, what? He just did that? I'm like, I said, God is good, because these CDs could have been, you know how it is when you have CDs for a long time. They're all pristine, bro.
Yeah.
My
pristine.
Man.
But how'd you feel about the weekend, my brother?
When I first dropped in on, all right, let me go by day. So Friday, I'm scoping, I'm checking everything out. First of all, you know, it was a little discombobulated on Friday. When I'm accustomed to what you put on the flyer or the itinerary. If it says 8:00, start the show at 8:00. The show shouldn't be starting at 10:15. Now you make it a whole. Now, first of all, Friday is the hard day. People who come from the drive, from the plane, whatever it is, and they're already drinking.
Yes.
Okay. They
early is better. Early is better.
As well as the holiday. Right. Earlier is better. That way they can get their sleep on, whatever. They get up early tomorrow. They'll probably go walk the boardwalk. They probably, because you're in Atlantic City. They might want to go gambling. They might want to. What do women want to do? Outlets is up the block, shopping. That's what they're going to do. Right. So, because you're in Atlantic City. So, but you got the show starting at 10:30. So I'm talking to Brooklyn Mike. When you going on? Because I'm trying to see Brooklyn Mike before I go upstairs, because I'm tired. I'm going up because I'm already pissed off that they didn't start till late. And right. I'm tight. I'm like, but that's what I don't like. I'm not going to crucify dude, but
what promoters got to learn is this, and I agree with you. Like, here's my thing, and this is what I told the brother. I said, bro, the first thing you messed up on is people who pay for a trip, who's going to be somewhere and do multiple things. You have to give them the itinerary ahead of time. Especially when you got themed situations. You got a black party, you got an 80s, 90s. Let them know that a week or two ahead of time so they can pack accordingly and be ready. And no, when they get there, we're gonna have them printed out on the front desk. It's too late. Like, who wanna get there, find out there's a goddamn lingerie party and you didn't pack no lingerie, so now you gotta go spend money and get lingerie. Like, that part, you're absolutely right. The timing part, you're absolutely right. Keep going, brother. That's Friday.
So Saturday really wasn't too bad, but he had so much going on Saturdays. Like,
he didn't listen.
The awards that could have been done early Sunday if you're gonna do the thing on Sunday, or start on time. Start on
Right.
time. You're giving out award. If you're gonna start at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, start at 9 o'clock. From 9 o'clock to 9:20, those awards should be given out. Now, the girl that was singing, you know, for somebody who I don't know, and she does 3 songs, because I'm there for the comedy. I'm thinking like a customer. I'm there for the comedy and the party in Atlantic City. I'm not trying to downgrade the singer. I mean, she has some great moments. Don't get me wrong, but nobody knows her.
But time-wise, it's time-wise. It's a time
It's time-wise. It's a time thing, right? You know, she does that, and then the show. But it was still better than Friday. You know what I'm saying? It was still better than Friday, but
see, here's the thing. What he didn't listen to, especially on Friday, when you have a time you want to start your show, even if it's that half-hour grace period, whatever it is, you're not in Queens. You're not on the block.
Right.
We're not at a club where you're holding off to wait for everybody to get. The people are in the building, whether they're in their seat or not, or in the ballroom or not, is irrelevant for the people who are. The people who are. See, that's what I never understood about this. And that's where I differ from most people. Most people that I work with, let's say the place holds 100 people and there's 40 in there on time.
Right.
Most people I've worked with would rather wait longer and go later to get closer to that 100.
Right.
And I'm the opposite. I think there's a certain amount of time you can only a little bit of leeway, and then you got to give it to these 40 because you're going to disrespect 40 for 60.
Right.
They was on time. They shouldn't be penalized.
Right. And
that's just how I always think. I always think like that. Like when what's going to happen is when we start and these people straggling, they'll catch up. And what they miss, they'll understand that. Damn, we was late. You know what I mean? Like, and that's cool. But because if I said, let's take for example, 8 o'clock showtime, and I got 40 of the 100 sitting in there at 8 o'clock, I might give you 15 minutes, 20 tops. I got to start. Because I don't want to be too disrespectful to these people who took their time to be on time. You know what I mean?
And they were waiting for the show.
Yeah,
how does it look for somebody that's how does it look for somebody to sit down, dressed up, sit down? They ate already. They took their shower. They sitting down.
They did everything.
The show's gonna start between 8 and 8:15. And now it's not
probably don't rush their chicken when they was eating. Yeah.
Go figure.
But let's get to after the comedy, it went it went to you.
You make it harder on yourself. Get back. Okay. You make it harder on yourself to maintain that 40 that was there on time, because they're gonna be like, yo, we went, it was a good time. I just don't like the fact that we had to wait, blah 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 blah. And then for the people who come early, because you know what they want good seats. They want to choose the seats, they want to choose to sit down and watch the show. But then to wait like an hour and a half, these people are tight. You can't tell me that they're not tight. The good thing about it is that the show is funny.
The show is funny. So here's what happens now. You tight. Show starts. Show dumb funny. It alleviates a lot of that pressure, right? You get some points back for that, if not all of them. But guess what happened after the show? Chris Love comes on. By the time you shake your lousy ass to all the mixes, because the dude, the mixologist, all I know, Chris, from 2 a.m. and then when I woke back up at 9, 10 a.m., all he was talking about was that damn DJ saved my day. So you are the ultimate mixologist motivator of the week, brother.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that.
Always a pleasure working with you, man, for the last 25 years, bro.
I appreciate you too, man. It's like we're like handed. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Like I knew the show's gonna be hot. I'll make sure I'm good on my end, You know, it's funny how it's been like that
Yeah.
all these years. It's been like that. I
I
look
didn't
at you
really
as a
think
true
about it until this
professional.
weekend.
Huh?
But same with me. Like I look at you the same way, but I didn't even it didn't dawn on me until this weekend. I said, that's funny how we see each other. We
Yeah.
just know that part's taken care of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
my brother.
No
Keep
doubt.
banging. We're gonna talk. Do what we gotta do. Salute to you, King.
Salute. Much
The
love.
number one
Appreciate it,
mixologist.
man. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. The
All right.
motivated mixologist, DJ
Yes.
Chris Love, on the show, Motivation Monday. Thank you, my brother. That's the man right there. And he said something interesting while we was there talking, recapping it in the show. He's like, I was like, dude, people were shot. He was like, I don't know what they shot for. Like, I never stopped. And he like, ain't like I'm home not doing it and get a call and oh, I hope he still got it. He was like, it ain't like that. He said, dude, I still do my thing. You know, I get in it and music is a motivator, bro. Comedy is a motivator. And these are the things that when you put them together.
You know what it is too for so many, because this pandemic, whatever it is, put everything on pause. We tend to just forget how many amazing people there are in every walk of life. So, for instance, in the DJ realm, besides Chris Love, we got Red Alert, we got Clark Kent. Obviously, D Nice has, been doing his thing, but there are like a ton of Chuck Chill Out. There's a ton of DJs that you know personally that you forget that you know. You say, oh shoot, I forgot. Our boy Lord Finesse, Jazzy J. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. SNS. The craziness about any and all of them, though, is because, to your point, people aren't keeping up with them, meaning they may or may not be following them on their social handles and all this stuff. You think to yourself, like you said, that they sitting around doing nothing. I'm like, these dudes are at the top of their game all day, every day. DJ Scratch, I'm not sure if you jumped on for a hot second with DJ Scratch after the thing last night. I was watching DJ Scratch like this. This don't even make sense. This is why I can't go to sleep, sir. You just amped me up another level. Like I really couldn't go to sleep. I was like, I might as well just stay up and just go into work. I love music. To your point, I love music that much. Like that's how much I love music. Like I sit around and I jump from mix to mix to mix because each one of them brings something different to the table in either the way they mix in or the way they cerebrally look at music. And I'm like,
right.
Are y'all hearing this? Like, are you really paying attention to what this guy is doing today? Your man Lord Finesse Saturday, his usual thing, he switched over to Twitch because IG, he's been, having some issues on IG. His set was so crazy on Twitch Saturday. I put in the comments, break out the yellow tape. This was a murder scene. He went 3 hours, and when I say murdered it, talent, that was incredible. And he was playing everything. We was in there like everybody's in the chat, just like, sir, you really just showing out. Like you have no regard for us. You don't want
music,
anybody done, but you
love music.
I love music, man. So for me to, like I said, to and we talk about motivational things and things that people hopefully can utilize in order to keep themselves in that spirit. Music is probably number one on my list for things that put me back in a great space. But here's the best part of my weekend. So, we didn't even ask that part. So one of my boys, it was his birthday yesterday, and he had a backyard barbecue thing. So he asked me to come through or go through. It was a beautiful reporter there. Her name was Ann. I can't think of her last name right now. We had a great conversation. It was predominantly his family, a few friends or whatever. Haitian brother from the industry back in the days, whatever. But he's, still connected to who it's connected to. Talent, I had a whole conversation with this woman. The whole time I'm there, we talking about life. We talking about the mask. We talking about all this dope stuff. So I'm sitting down eating, and my boy comes and sits next to me, and he goes, yo, you heard her mention, because she had mentioned, she said, my father, who was an entertainer, passed during this, COVID. So I was like, oh, okay. She never divulged who her father was. And I, spoke of my brother, but I never divulged who my brother was. So, all things cancel each other. So my boy James goes, he says, Amir, you know who her dad is, right? And I said, no, who's her father? He said her father was Bill Withers. Yo, talent almost fell off the chair. I said, yo, Lovely Day is one of my all-time favorite records, like bar all the songs ever created by anybody. That's like one of my ultimate favorite songs.
Wow.
He said, Amir, that was his daughter. Now, like I said, I heard her say, father was an entertainer and he passed, but she never divulged who it was. So I just, I was like,
right.
But I was in my mind, I was just like, that's what makes the world such a beautiful place. You could interact with people, you could have, moments and not even know the magnitude of the moment. Right. You know what I mean? Because he turned around, he said the same thing to me. He said, Amir, you're sitting around here quiet. He said, yo, you got one of the dopest podcasts with you and Talent twice a week, bro. He said, I tune in because y'all joint is fire. He said, the both of y'all are just dropping nuggets and jewels. He said, he said, you do it effortlessly. Like you sitting here, he said, even here. He said, when you leave, I know my family's going to be like, who was the gentleman in the hat? Because he had all kind of stuff to say. So I said to him, I said, man, listen, we just having fun, brother.
Yeah. He got a better family than mine. My family would be like, who the nigga in the hat? Yeah, the hat nigga. Who that? The hat nigga.
But it was an incredible weekend, like I said, and you capped it off with the Earth, Wind, and Fire thing. And I got up. I'm really still motivated by encompassing all of that. Like that made my whole entire weekend. Has got me skipping into the week. Like, let's go. Let's really get it done.
And as we all should. And in closing, we all should be skipping into the week, and that's why we brought it up, because the two things that are more evident right in this moment, this space and time, other than this trial going on, is DMX trying to our prayers and support. Like right now, they're at the hospital outside the hospital in White Plains right this moment. With the vigil and the whole prayers and Rough Riders and everybody. But between that and between watching these icons of 5+ decades do what they do and still be able to do it at the level that they need to do it, should be more than enough motivation for all of us. Whether it's DMX and saying, hey, life is short. Let me get some focus and perspective. Or seeing these motherfuckers, which is totally inspiring. Like, you can do that long. You can have this that long. You can be blessed with talents and skill that long. Between those two contrasts, there's a way to look in there and find your place of motivation. I told people this morning, I'm gonna tell you again, attack it from a different direction, which you've been doing it. You maybe been making a list of the negative things that happen to you. You need to start making a list of the positive things that happen to you. Yeah. The positive things that you can accredit to your abilities. The positive accolades you probably already achieved. And let that sink in one side of the brain, because what's going to happen is the memorization of that. The memorization of that is going to keep repeating like a something on loop. And you rather be looping positiveness, deeds and accolades and aspirations and goals and progress and successions, and you rather that to play on a loop than all the negative stuff be on a loop. So the loop is controllable by you. What list are you going to give the loop? You're going to give them the bad loop list? Or you're going to give loop the good list? If it's going to keep playing back in your head, I advise you to be motivated and make that positive list. You ain't got to. Food for thought. This is my boy Amir Silly. I'm your boy Talon Harris. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are hoping and praying that if nothing else, you guys stay motivated to the fullest, man. Hope you had a great weekend. Amir said he had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. Chris Love. Nikki Carr, congratulations to our guest again.
Yes.
Wow. That was an amazing guest right there, bro.
That really was. That she blew me away. And even like I said, to see her tear up in that moment, I thought was so powerful and so, profound. Because I think, like I said, we don't really, to your point, celebrate enough of how far we've come Forget looking about how far you got to go. Celebrate how far you've come. That's a celebration within itself. And trust and believe you've survived some things that unfortunately some other people actually didn't. So pat your damn self on the back. Cheer for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's imperative. Like, you have no idea how much that, you know, catapults you to where you need to go.
And like somebody famous used to tell me all the time, let that be the reason. Thank y'all, man. Love y'all. Nothing y'all can do about it. Stay motivated. Amir, peace, king.
Peace.